Hi, boys and girls. My name is Miss Jennifer, and I'm a teaching artist in the PACE Art program. I'm here today to do an art lesson with you. I am so glad that you could join me. Today we'll be focusing on a science-based art lesson. This lesson will have something to do with what you've been learning with your classroom teacher. We will be talking about animals, where animals live, what animals eat, and so much more. The animal we will be focusing on today is a penguin. We will add a little twist to our lesson today, and I think that will make it really fun. We will be making our penguin dance on ice. We will also talk about different kinds of emotions and things that you feel when you're dancing and having fun. We will be doing a lot of cutting and gluing today. We will also be making a collage. The supplies that you will need today will be a white sheet of paper, a variety of crayons, a black or brown marker, and glue. Now, it doesn't matter if you use a glue stick or a glue bottle, but I will tell you that a glue stick works a little bit better for this. You will also need a pair of scissors. Now, I'm sure that your scissors are going to be a lot smaller than mine. So, again, white sheet of paper, variety of crayons, black or brown marker, glue, and scissors. We will be using different lines, shapes, and colors for our lesson today. We will be focusing on top, bottom, sides, and middle of our paper. We will also be focusing on left side and right side today. So as I said, we are working on a penguin drawing today. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So before we get started with our drawing, let's talk about a few things. So what do animals need in order to survive? Think back to things that you've been learning with your classroom teacher. Well, if you said food, water, and shelter, you are correct. Good job. Now, this is a really big word. What is a habitat? Habitat, Miss Jennifer? Well, a habitat is a place where animals live. It is where they have the things that they need in order to survive, and it also has like the weather that they can handle. It's not too cold or too hot for what they like. And so a penguin likes really cold weather, and as you can see, he's on ice right here. And where do penguins live? Well, penguins live mostly in Antarctica, where it's super, super cold. They do live in other places, but today we're going to talk about penguins that live in Antarctica. Now, is a penguin a bird? He is. Do you know why? Because he has wings. These are actually wings. Now, sometimes they're also called flippers or flappers, but they are wings. But penguins don't use wings to fly. They use their wings to help them swim in water. I thought that was pretty cool. And so, where do you think penguins might get food? Well, they get their food from the water, and there are two things they eat a lot of. These are called brown seals. They like to eat seals. They also eat this shrimp-looking little thing that is called a krill. Say it together, krill. Say this one together, seal. Good job. And so that is what they eat. And both of those are found around the water or in the water. Now, how does a penguin stay safe? What kind of shelter do you think that they have? Well, penguins make holes in snow called burrows. They hide in cracks in the snow, and they also hide in places where snow has melted away. Now, saying that, penguins you would think would drink the water in the ocean. Well, they can drink a little bit of it, but their bodies can't handle the amount of salt that is in the water. So most of the time, what they do is they drink melted ice or melted snow. I thought that was pretty interesting. And so, now that we know a little bit about our penguins, there's one more thing we're going to talk about, and that is emotions. What do you think are emotions? Well, emotions are things that we feel. I want you to think about, how do you feel right now? Now I want you to tell your neighbor next to you how you're feeling. Oh wow, I heard a lot of happy and sad, surprised. It's okay to feel your emotions, even if you're sad. It is okay because we all go through all of those emotions. Well, today our penguins are going to be dancing, and I think that they're going to be having what? Fun! Awesome! Do you think they're going to be excited? Of course. Do you think they're going to be surprised when they slide down those icy slopes? Of course. And so, like I said, we'll be adding some emotions to our picture today. Let's go ahead and let's get ready to start. If we look up here, we have a penguin with their babies. Yes, penguins actually keep their eggs under their feet until their babies hatch. And then they also keep their babies there to keep them warm. And penguins love to walk and slide and dance on snow, as you can see here. Here, this penguin looks like he's about to slide. But let's notice something. The place in which penguins live is very cold. It has mountains, it has snow, it has lots of ice. And so that is pretty much where they live. And that gives them the chance to be able to slide and play on the ice or the snow. All right, so I'm ready to get started with my drawing. First of all, decide on which marker you want to use, a black or a brown. I'm going to use a black one today. And get your white sheet of paper. Now I'm going to be drawing with my paper going vertically today. If you decide you want your paper horizontally, I'm okay with that. It's really up to you. And you know what? If you even want to be silly today and you want to put your paper like this so that the corners on the top and the bottom, it's kind of diagonally, you could also do that. So that's what it would look like on top of your desk. And you would be drawing like this. So why not? Take a chance. Let's try it. All right. So the first thing that we know is that our penguin needs ice or snow. And so on the bottom of our picture, that's what I'm going to draw first using my marker. And I'm going to use my wavy line to do that. And not only that, I'm not going to put my wavy line just going across my paper because I want to make sure that there are some like cliffs and some lower parts of the ice. And so you might want to start where you draw it here, wavy line, and go all the way to the top. And maybe you could even add some different lines to your picture. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to make, and I think I want to go all the way up here. Why not? And then I could add some curved and wavy lines. Remember our curve and our wavy lines to make it look like the snow maybe made like little hills. And so there we go. There is our ice. Let's draw it now. Start from one side and go to the other. Now remember, if we're drawing it in a diagonal, then you probably would be starting here and you would draw it going this way. And then your penguin would go right here in this direction. So we're getting ready to draw our penguin. Looking at our penguin, what shape do you think we could use to make his body? Well, let's think about that. What shape could we use to make his body? I want you to tell your friend. What shape do you think we could use? Good job. Well, if you said an oval, that probably would be a good shape. Look at this. Look at the babies at the bottom of his feet. And look at this. All these little babies all over the picture with mommy and daddy's right back here. And so we're going to start with an oval. So I'm going to start about right here. This is about the middle of my paper. So let's put a dot in the middle of our paper. Good job. And looking at my picture, I'm going to start here and I'm going to go down to about right there. Notice I left the space next to the bottom of my, or should I say the top of my ice. Good job. So let's do that now. All right. Now, we want to think about this. We want to put our penguin a head, and we're thinking about shapes that we could use to do that. So if we look here at our picture, what shape do you think we could use to make his head? Do you think we could use a square, a triangle, a rectangle? How about a circle? Good job. Now notice something. The body is a large oval, but the head is a small what? Circle. And the head will go on top of his body. And so there we go. There is his head. You can draw it now. Good job. It's okay if it looks a little bit like an oval. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we would draw a circle, and on the bottom we drew an oval. Good job. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to add his eyes. Now let's pay attention to something. We're going to be talking about the left side and the right side of our paper today. So let's look at our hands and figure out which one's my left hand. This one's my left hand, and this one is my right hand. Let's put our left hands up, and then let's put our right hand up. Good job. I'm going to draw an oval just like this. Go ahead and draw your oval. And then, remember that was my left side. Now my right side. I want to draw another one for his eye. So there we go. It could look like a circle or an oval. It really doesn't matter. Now on the inside, on my left eye, I'm going to color in a black circle. And I'm going to do the same thing to the right side. So let's do that now. So there's my penguin's eyes. Now, my penguin is going to need something to breathe with. What do you think this might be? A nose. Do you think birds have a nose? No, Miss Jennifer, they have a what? A beak. Good job. And so to make our beak, we're going to make this shape, but we're going to turn it upside down. So we're going to make a straight line, then one going down this way, and one going down this way, and there is my triangle, and it is upside down. Right under his eyes, straight line, one line going down, and another one going down. And there is his beak. Boys and girls, your pictures are looking fabulous. Loving it. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to put his wings. And his wings are going to be kind of shaped like a curved line going this way and a curved line going this way. Now again, this part is his body. Now we're going to start, and we're going to put one on the left side first. So here's my left side, starting about right here, and we're going to make a curved line. Let's do that now. Good job. Now I want you to start back at that point, and I want you to go back toward his body, and there is his wing. Now, there's something that we're going to do here. We're going to need to make his wing on the other side, and that one's going to be kind of opposite. So here we go. So instead of going this way, we're going to start from this way, and we're going to go down, and then we're going to go back up toward his body. So now he has his wings. And remember, he doesn't use his wings to fly. He uses them to help him swim. Good job. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make his feet. And a bird has how many feet? 2 feet. So watch me. What we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 straight lines, just like this. And we're going to go curve, curve, curve. All right? And then we're going to do 2 straight lines. And then curve, curve, curve. Just like this. All right. So here we go. 2 straight lines on this side. 2 straight lines on that side. Go ahead and do it now. Good job. And then now we're going to do the wavy lines at the bottom. We're going to make him some nice long toes. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Now notice something. My penguin has feet, but his feet are getting ready to get really happy. And what did I say we're going to be doing with our penguin today? We're going to be making him so he is dancing. Good job. And for that, I kind of put his feet a little farther apart because he is dancing. Now the next thing that I want to do on my picture is I want to make the stomach part of my penguin. If you notice, a penguin has black sort of all the way around his body. His back is black, but his stomach area is white. Good job. And for that, I am going to, you know what, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to go up and around and back down, just with a super long curve. Awesome. Remember, let's get those little happy dancing feet ready because he's about to dance on that ice. Good job. All right. Now there's one more thing that we want to do. On a penguin's face, there's also black. So if you look up here, he has black on his face. So you could also maybe add a curve here, maybe like a little V here, a letter V, and then maybe another curved line here. So it's kind of going to look like a little bit like this, kind of like maybe a heart. And we'll take our black marker and we will color that part in. So go ahead and color just the part around his head and just like this. Very good. And now another thing that we might want to do is we might want to add some black lines on the top of his wing. Or you know what? We could even maybe color that in. How about, yeah, let's do that. Let's color it in so that it is black. Because remember, he is black on the top of his wings. And he also has black around his body. So we could do the same thing here. We could color in some black around his body. Just like this. So go ahead and do that now. If you decide you don't want to color it in, it is okay. You don't have to, but I thought that would make it sort of a little fun. All right, so the fun begins now. We're getting ready to start coloring. And when we color today, we're going to be using colors like blue and purple and yellow, maybe some orange. And I'm going to start first by coloring my penguin. I'm going to start first with his beak, and I'm going to color his beak yellow. Remember, he has a beak. And not only yellow, but you know what? If you have maybe like an orange color and you decide you want to color 2 colors, you could do that. So watch this. It's simply coloring one color and then another color on top of it, just like this. So we have 2 different colors. Good job. Now, another thing that has the orange and the yellow on our penguin would be his what? Well, he has them around his face, but how about his feet? And so let's color his feet. Here's the yellow, and here's the orange. Just like this. Now, if you decide you want him to have just yellow feet, you can. If you want him to have just orange feet, that's okay also. Just like that. Awesome. And I want to add a little bit of the orange and yellow sort of around his head, because sometimes penguins have that color around their head and maybe even at the top of their stomach. So if you want to do that, you can. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a black crayon to finish coloring the black parts of my penguin. So let's get our black crayon, and we're going to color under this black part that you colored in with your marker, or if you didn't color it with a marker, then you're just going to color the whole thing black. Now notice that I'm not pressing super hard. I'm pressing very lightly. That means that I'm not putting my hand very hard on my paper, just very softly. And so I'm coloring it very lightly. Then I can come back, and if I want to color some parts just a tiny bit darker, but remember, not super dark, I could do that maybe on the end. So just like this. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Just like this. And the next part I'm going to color is the part around his body. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color it very lightly, just like this, all the way around. And then I'm going to color some parts just a tiny bit darker. When we do that, when we color parts of it a little darker, we actually call that shading. So when we color very lightly and then kind of color a little bit darker, this part right here is called shading. That's a really fun thing to do. Alright, so now I have my penguin, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to start working on the ice. And I'm going to use blue to do that, but I'm going to use a couple of different color blues. So if you have different color blues, you might want to get them now. If not, it's okay. Just color with the colors that you have. And so I'm going to lightly, again, not very hard, I'm going to color all of my ice light blue all the way to the top. I'm going to color some parts a little darker, especially where the lines that we drew are for the little, maybe like the little heels of snow or ice. And there we go. Just like that. Alright, and then I'm going to use another color blue. And I'm going to color in my snow. Now when you're coloring your snow, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about your happy dancing penguin. Think about it in your head. What word comes to your mind that is an emotional word that explains how happy your penguin is dancing? Think about when you're dancing. Think about how you feel. I think the one word that I probably would say is that I am excited. Yes, I am excited because I love dancing. Awesome. What's another word you might think of? We said happy, we said exciting. How about surprised? Because sometimes you might slide down that ice in a way that you didn't think you would. So that is another emotional word. Good job. I want you to keep thinking about emotional words while you're working on your picture. How does it make you feel? Awesome. All right, now I'm going to move on, and I want to color the sky. Now for the sky, or actually, you know what? It could be sky. It could be water. Let's think about it that way. I think I still want to kind of be the sky, but this could also be part of the ocean. And so the sky and the ocean are both blue, so you really can think about it in the way that you would want it to be. And I'm coloring very lightly in my sky, just like this, with my light blue. Right, and then, you know what? I think that I might want to get purple, and I could even add some purple if I would like. Now, if you wanting it to be water, you might want to make it sort of like wavy lines. It also could be wavy lines in the sky because maybe it's the edge of the clouds. You could also add some purple to your water at the bottom of your picture. I think I might want to add a little bit more of this color blue to my ice. Now ice, boys and girls, really is what color? White. But sometimes when it starts to melt, it sort of can look like maybe a little bit of blue. And so it's really hard to just have a white paper. That's why we're going to go ahead and make it as though some of that ice is starting to melt and we can see a little bit of that blue shining or showing through. under his feet, if you want to make them like super, super happy dancing feet, maybe you could even put some little lines of a different color blue like this that kind of make it look like movement, like he's moving his little legs. He's sliding from one side and he's sliding to the other maybe. Maybe he's dancing going up, going down. So that's a way that we show movement, things that are moving, is by using lines. And we simply just kind of used our zigzag line to do that. Your pictures are coming out so beautiful, boys and girls. I am so proud of you guys for working so hard and making some beautiful dancing penguins. Awesome. All right, and so I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. And there's something else that we could think about is maybe adding some yellow, because the sun shines, and sometimes when the sun shines, we see a little bit of yellow. So you could add some yellow in your sky, you could add some yellow on your ground, just like this. Awesome. All right, we're moving on now, and you should have a piece of construction paper, maybe purple, maybe blue. And let's get our scissors. And we're going to put our paper in our hand, and we're going to take our scissors, and we want to cut just like this, making little bitty rectangles. So here we go, open, shut, all the way across. Now you might want to make some small ones, and you might also want to make some bigger ones. It's really up to you. Maybe you could even take the time to count them when you're finished cutting. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some glue to one side, and we're going to start gluing them to the sky or the water part of your picture. Because I think about when I'm happy, I think about maybe like confetti flying or something. But my thought here is that maybe this could be the ice that they're chipping away with their feet that's flying up in the air. And so again, a little bit of glue, and just glue it onto your paper anywhere that you want. And remember, you had some thin rectangles and you had some very, very large rectangles. All right, some thicker ones. And there we go. And I now have all of my pieces. Again, remember, you can go back and you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 pieces of ice flying in the air in my picture. You might also want to add maybe some purple ones. You know what? Maybe even some other colors, whatever color you would like. So, there you go. Today, we learned about penguins. We learned about what they eat, where they live, and what they need in order to survive. We learned about what is a habitat. We talked about having fun and dancing to show if we are happy, excited, or even having fun. We talked about emotional words. We added different color pieces of construction paper to our drawing to create a collage today. If you would like, later you could add different color pieces of construction paper to your picture. I want you to take some time to share your art with others. And I also want you to maybe create a little story about what your penguin is doing in your drawing. So until next time, I want you to keep making art.